I'm Diana McCullum.
Hey, I'm Andrew Rodney.
And this is Fan vs. Fan for The Flash.
Godspeed. I don't know what that means.
She's inside me, and she's angry.
Your friend, she's a meta, not one of the friendly ones.
She's sick. She's not thinking straight.
She is a bloody menace. Knock her out.
Caitlin, what are you doing? I'm not gonna fight you.
You keep messing with everyone's lives.
Shoot her!
You did this to me. You made me cold-hearted, Mary.
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
All right, so on tonight's episode of The Flash, we pick up right where last week left off. We have Savitar fighting the Flash. Turns out the God can do whatever the hell he wants. Beats up the Flash. Gets a cold breeze coming in from Killer Frost and Vibe coming into the place. Killer Frost becomes a villain, but then not so much. Doesn't quite have the killer instinct. We find out who Alchemy is, and Wally is a straight-up speedster now, we think. Question mark? That was tonight's episode. Let's get into it, though. Let's talk about the pros. All right, pros for tonight's episode. Diana, what did you like?
I loved, for maybe the first time ever as a pro, Caitlin Snow.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Caitlin, wow, I don't even want them to cure her. Like,
Yeah.
can she be Killer Frost, but a good guy? Is like, do you think that's
I would like
possible?
them to find a middle ground of her controlling her powers.
Yes,
yeah,
she is so much more interesting as Killer Frost.
Yeah.
She's a better actress as Killer Frost.
most definitely.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing to her voice, but it sounded like, I know that wasn't her voice. It
Right.
was a thing they did.
Right, but the voice modulation worked for her character and
it was
performance.
just enough.
Yeah.
She was really cool. Her performance was great. This is such an interesting storyline. It doesn't involve anyone she's dating. That's so nice.
It's nice. Yeah.
It's such a nice change. Yeah, everything with Caitlin I loved about this episode.
I'm 100% with you. Like, I don't think it's the only time we've said that. We've definitely said that about the Earth 2 episodes before.
Yes, of course.
That,
but that was still Killer Frost.
That's true, yeah, but we've been definitely strong purveyors of the fact that Killer Frost is an interesting character and a much better fit for her as an actress and as a performer. And this episode is a key example of that. Like, I realize that with the dynamic of the show, they're probably not going to send her into a spiral where she's a full-blown villain, but I think they definitely need to find that delicate balance for Killer Frost to be maybe like the anti-hero. Like, she needs to be the Punisher. She needs to be someone who's like, maybe not.
I don't know if we're gonna get a CW Punisher.
Maybe not the Punisher, but she needs to be the anti-hero. She needs to be the chaotic good at best. And they need to learn that line, because this is where her character belongs.
I totally agree. I almost feel like they hired her to be Killer Frost, but then for some reason it took them 3 seasons to make her Killer Frost. Like,
I might even agree with that.
this
yeah,
is just such a better character and better work for this actress. Like, keep Killer Frost around, please, CW. We love this version of Caitlin.
Yeah, it's a better character and a more intriguing story arc. You're right.
Yeah, like constantly fighting if she's going to be good or evil. Like, that's just a nice moral gray ground. I love it.
It's a moral gray, and it's moral gray, and it's insular as well. Like, it's her story about her. Everything we've gotten so far in this series has been her story about how other people cause a reaction from her. Whether it's the passing of Ronnie, or the introduction of Jay, or random unnecessary romance or tension. She just kind of blends into the background and becomes a part of other people's stories.
Yeah, she always just follows the rest of the team around. She's never a leading force. But
Yeah.
this character could definitely be a leading force in the show, and I'm really excited about it.
Most definitely. I dig it. I like it. That's a huge pro for me.
I totally agree. And what were your other pros?
I mean, for me, other pros, like, I kind of dig the Joe storyline in this episode. In all honesty,
Storyline. You liked that he broke Wally out and then was like, "Oopsie doodle."
Yeah, I kind of dig that.
It was real human.
It was real human. I liked the immediate regret, like the moment of understanding that this was an emotional moment. He made a mistake. The show has been good at that this season, of being like, let's give characters a human flaw, and then as opposed to then having them spend a season defend their choices, be like people, sometimes they realize that they made a mistake. And I like that Joe did that in this episode. It all felt super believable. It was all very compelling. I dug the whole storyline about, and I like that he's talking about I like the writing of him talking about how he feels out of place now. Because he's right. Like, he's very much being the voice of the audience. A lot of all of their doing is sciencing. Being like, you guys are sciencing. You're science. Let's science the science. We science, and then we science to the science, and it's done.
Do you think that's going to be like a theme they're going with this season? Because Iris said almost the exact same thing last episode when she talked to Barry. She was like, I don't do science. I have no place here. I'm just here for support. And now this week Joe's saying that.
It might be a theme that they're going for this season. I think it might just be kind of a new direction for developing the team. Because if with Barry now leaving the precinct, we might have Joe and Iris doing more of the street stuff.
Oh yeah,
we might have Caitlin and Cisco going back to more of the lab stuff, and then we might have Barry going more into the straight heroics. So it might be a new breakdown of the team dynamic, or a re-understanding of the team dynamic.
Okay,
yeah,
which I'm for. I actually don't mind Barry quitting his job at all.
Yeah.
Because we don't need two of them at the police precinct. Like,
sure.
Yeah, Joe can do all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't need that many people at the police precinct, and on top of that too, like we just don't need repetitions of previous storylines. Where like a problem that other superhero shows are having, and I was worried the show was going to go in the same direction, is too many heroes. Like if you make everyone a hero, suddenly no one's special. I like the fact that they're trying to keep a couple people not superpowered.
Not superpowered. Although I will say another, so many pros. I love this episode. Another pro I had was I loved all three of them having this fight. Like seeing Cisco fully vibed out, seeing Caitlin fully
100%.
killer frosted and fighting Barry, and like the fight felt real and motivated. It wasn't one of those like we're gonna fight for fight's sakes kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% with that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Going to the live chat now and just having a look and seeing what people are saying.
People are loving Caitlin this episode.
We love Caitlin.
Yeah.
We need to start a petition. Keep Killer Frost.
Yeah, I think we really need to keep Killer Frost going. We had a little bit of a talk about how like this was a sad episode. I think maybe at times it had emotional crescendos. I don't think it was as tragic as some episodes have been.
Yeah, it was never tragic, but it was like the emotional impacts were good. Like Cisco finding out that Barry basically killed his brother with this time change was nice. Because before, it took me a minute to remember, Cisco was only mad because Barry wouldn't go back in time and change it. He didn't know Flashpoint had killed his brother. Right. Which was the difference. So that was a good gut punch.
Okay.
Lauren Waters is saying that she loved Caitlin calling Barry out on all that stuff. Like, it's the first time that's happened.
I also loved Caitlin calling him out because even though it was like a dick move, it's also like he's been really selfish with all this time travel stuff. Right. He's really screwed over a lot of their lives just for his own benefit. And not even for his own benefit, because Wally was just stabbed a little. I'm never going to get over that episode.
Well, because he was just an idiot. He was an idiot to change the timelines. Like, that was just a dumb move on Barry's part, and he deserves people calling him out on that kind of BS, because he made some poor choices. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, like, he can't be held accountable for how the timeline was altered, but he definitely can and should hold himself accountable for why the timeline was altered.
Yeah, definitely. Every time he altered it, that's on him. Like reverse Flash stuff, not your problem, but when you go and do it, you have to face these consequences. I like that Cisco didn't forgive him right away either.
Yeah,
I was like, good on you, Cisco. Yeah,
I agree
he did
as well.
Screw you over there. Killer Frosting.
Let's keep it Killer Frosting. We'll go into more of the comments in the cons section, but are we good on the comments for now?
I think so for now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good on comments for now. We're going to pop back, but for now, let's get into the next section. Let's talk about cons. All right. Cons of tonight's episode. Diana, what didn't you like?
Caitlin's just better?
What?
Caitlin's just better? There's like, they didn't do anything to her? Like,
just in the sense of like she's just kind of like healthy now.
Barry just talked her down from being evil. Like that seemed like it was going to be a real short-term fix.
I get that.
I expected her to evil out again within like 3 minutes.
Right.
But now they're just like, no, we're not going to give her to the police. No consequences.
Yeah, there are a couple of plot devices there that they're not being 100% clear on, like the bracelets, for example. Like,
yeah, she was just kind of... They looked like Fitbits this week.
Yeah,
Last week they were like big, and this week it's two little Fitbits.
I think the prop department each week are making them more and more comfortable for Danielle Panabaker to wear. But I think they're not being clear with the bracelets in the fact that when the bracelets kind of suppress her powers, is it suppressing that evil side of her as well? Because she seemed pretty good until they took it off for her to use her powers. So like there are a couple of small plot devices that they're not being 100% clear on, and it is just kind of being some quick turnarounds on whatever is convenient.
Yeah, and why didn't they just pop some bracelets on her when they had her in prison? Like there was this wasn't clear to me about why she was better and why she's staying better. Like this seemed really easy considering they spent all episode fighting her.
Yeah.
That was my big con.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. And I'd say in terms of also like quick solution cons as well is the end with Wally.
Yeah, that felt really rushed.
It felt rushed.
Felt like another episode storyline.
It did. It felt like an episode got canceled. Like
we're like, oh shit.
They wrote a full episode for next week about trying to cure Wally and that kind of fight for things, but there just wasn't time, so they cut it, and suddenly it was just a like
and one quick injection and we're done.
Yeah.
Both those storylines got wrapped up so quickly.
Yeah.
That I was like, this has been Caitlyn's episode. Ending on Wally didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. Even though she was the one that made the serum, it still didn't feel like it tied in enough.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was a quick little brush off.
Yeah.
And I think for another big con for me is the fact that it's so obvious. It was so obvious I didn't believe it, and it's so obvious it's boring, which is Julian is alchemy.
Or Julian just knew where that costume was. Like, it seems like one of those things where they're like, maybe in the future we'll find out that like he just knew someone else was alchemy and found the costume, but he does seem to be alchemy. Like, yeah, I don't think I love that either, but at the same time, I'm like, well, the clues were there.
The clues were there, but
I mean, actually, I guess the only clue that was really there was his name, which, if you don't read the comics, you wouldn't even have known.
Well, and also just really everything about his demeanor and face.
His face?
Yeah, just everything about.
You're evil,
like
sir.
It was the type of casting of being like who looks like they already are the character that they're going to turn out to be. Like there wasn't much redirect there. Yeah, it was so obvious and in front of us the whole time that I did not think that it was where the show was going to go because it's too simplistic, it's too boring, and it's a pretty straightforward kind of, I mean, not end because his character is still going to be around, but a very straightforward conclusion to the who is Dr. Alchemy mystery storyline, which has been, like 6 episodes now of like, ooh, the mystery behind, and I'm like, that's kind of just it's the guy you thought it was.
There wasn't really anyone else it could be, because if you're going to unmask someone, it has to be someone we know, and he's the only new character that's been introduced.
Right.
Because Greg Grunberg just came back this episode.
Yes.
That new character, Detective Patterson. So he was the only possibility. Every other unmasking would have been like, who? Who are you?
Who is this? What?
Unless it was like some kind of cool like Flashpoint thing with someone you thought was dead was alive.
Right.
But which it wasn't anything cool like that.
There was a lot of potential, but instead it was the
Tommy from Arrow.
It could have been. It literally could have been anybody.
Yeah.
But instead it was the very obvious and kind of boring choice. Who knows where they're going to go with that character? Like, I'm optimistic for how it could turn, but
in a way I don't mind it because I really do like Tom Felton in this role.
He's great.
I'm like, more Tom Felton, sure.
He's great.
But this wasn't a great mystery.
Well, Tom Felton is great as Julian. Mm-hmm. I don't really care about Tom Felton as Dr. Alchemy. Dr. Alchemy for me so far in the series is scary, but Dr. Alchemy is just a mask and a cape. Dr. Alchemy is just a facilitator, you know? Like it's just someone giving everyone else their powers, but it's a finite number of people. They already established that because they found like the
there's
the
3
shedded
more
skins.
people who have powers somewhere.
So with a finite group of people, and with those people already changed, there's really no point to chasing Dr. Alchemy. It's just what's done is done, and what's done won't be changed or altered depending on who is revealed in this. So I love Dr. Felton as Julian. I would have liked him just as
Dr. Felton.
Dr. Felton.
He's
Dr. Felton. I love Felton as Julian, but that's all I wanted from his character. I didn't.
I'll give him a chance as Alchemy. We haven't really seen what he does.
Yeah.
Good theories in the chat. Blue Flare 19 says, I don't think he was always alchemy. He's just alchemy now. Sort of seconding what you were saying.
Okay, Blue Flare. I think he's alchemy now. Wasn't always alchemy. I don't. Yeah, like that voice was like making him his new alchemy.
maybe, like, alchemy is just kind of a title that's passed on, but again...
But the suit seemed to be in the police precinct.
That's true, and if it's a title that's passed on, there's no reason to pass it on if the work's already done, which I think is one of the issues with the story.
I think he needs to make more metas, though, to completely transfer over, was the idea. I think, like, this whole season's just going to be more metas, more metas, more metas.
I see what you're saying.
I don't think the work is done.
Yeah, the work's definitely not done.
Because Savitar's still invisible, which I guess he doesn't like.
Right.
He seems to be here, but just invisible, and that seems like a power you'd want. He's really not. He's like, people have to see how cool I look. I can't be invisible.
But yeah, not a bad idea from Blue Flare though. I gotta give credit to that. Senior Titan saying that Julian has multiple personality disorder, which is
I feel like everyone who's getting affected by alchemy or Savitar is kind of multiple personality disordering, because Magenta was too.
Yeah.
She had to, like, fight her own self, and now Killer Frost is.
Yeah.
It's weird that Caitlyn's not an alchemy person.
Yeah, I kind of agree there. Yeah. And Gareth Hughes talking about how other shoved in moments, which was with the injection cure for Wally, just with the throwaway line of, like, he used to go there when he missed his mom, and Gareth Hughes bringing up the fact that, like, that's never come up before. That is a random tie-on, like, if you're going to just have a rush scene where you give him a cure, why wasn't it just at Joe's house? Like, they could have just been like, let's go home. He probably went home.
He used to go there when he missed his mom. His mom's only been dead, like, 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, that would only be, like, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I would think her grave would be a bigger one.
I think grave would be a big one for where you go when you miss your mom. Also, when your mom lived there, you kind of seem to be a street vagrant who was just drag racing. And also, we don't really know what you did or did not do in this Flashpoint version of the timeline. Also, is another
well, maybe
huge
he was very close
thing.
to his mom in this Flashpoint version of the timeline.
But yeah.
Maybe she died much sooner and he kept visiting that house more often. Just a lot of information you miss when you just come into a timeline halfway through.
Right. Yeah.
So we've revealed the identity of alchemy ostensibly, but a lot of people are now pointing to Savitar. Who is Savitar? Is it someone we've met? And they're saying Detective Patterson.
Who is Savitar? Detective Patterson. I'm not sure. He's so big. Why is he such a big man? Like, he has to be Gorilla Grodd. I would love it if Savitar was Gorilla
Savitar
Grodd.
Can't be anyone. Like, there's so much
giant.
He is 18 feet tall if he's a foot. If he's 18 feet tall, like 19 and a quarter tons of go to hell. Like, weighs so much. It would have to be like a very sincerely magical thing. If it was Patterson, it would have to be like Patterson's being like, and by Savitar, and then like an explosion, and he's 19 feet.
Like, it's gonna be like a He-Man thing. Like, you're a skinny guy, and then you're like, by the power of Savitar, and you grow 18 feet, and you get metal armor.
Speed Force magic, guys.
Speed Force magic.
But this is the thing. Like, Speed Force doesn't make you way taller.
Yeah.
Speed Force just makes you way faster.
Well, and he also has like crazy use of like negative space in his costume too, where like it looks like there are gaps in some of the plating, and it's like super svelte. Really, like, yeah, I'm using svelte. Like, there's also like, I feel like if I had like a paperclip, I could like throw it through and it would come out his back. Like, there's negative space there
like
as well.
He's made of portals or something.
Yeah, like he is just an enchanted armor, and there's no actual like meat flesh underneath that thing.
So maybe he's gonna like take over a person who is one of his worshippers.
Maybe.
And yeah, he's not even fully on this plane.
Maybe.
A lot of possibilities with Savitar.
All right, I
still think Gorilla Grodd.
I think we hit enough cons, and I think we're getting into Easter egg territory now. So let's move on. Let's talk about Easter eggs. All right. So Easter eggs for tonight's episode. Diana, did you find any? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I just wanted to posit some things about Savitar.
All right,
they were talking about how he doesn't move like Barry does. He like appears in places instead.
Yeah. Just
so I don't know. I don't think he's using portals because he still does move kind of fast. I think his powers might be more like Zoom in the comic books.
Okay.
Because in the comic books, Zoom actually doesn't use the Speed Force. He changes time around himself.
Okay.
So he's going like as fast as we can go, but time is faster around him.
Right.
So you can be in a place and then appear in another place, and it looks fast, but you're really just time manipulating.
Just jumping through time.
Yeah, you don't actually run any faster.
Okay.
So it seems like his powers are more like Zoom in the comics.
Okay, that's possible too. But it also, yeah, maybe he is running through time. One thing that I will say that I really loved visually in tonight's episode is also where he's running through.
He's running through portals or another dimension or something?
That, like, ice dimension that he's running through is I love how that looks.
All right, I know where to book our next vacation.
We're
going to the ice dimension. I'll pack a coat.
And even, like, how he runs, too. Like, he runs... When we're seeing, like, his running from his speed, obviously, because when it's from people's speed, he doesn't even exist.
Yeah, we can't see him.
And when it's from the Flash's perspective, it's still pretty fast. But when they show it from, like, his perspective in that, like, ice tunnel through time, it's so fast, it's almost slow. Like, it almost feels like he moves at a different frame rate than the rest of the CGI.
That'd be cool if they did that.
Like, he's moving at, like, 60 frames per second, and everything else is moving at, like, 24. Because it's slow and super fluid. Like, no motion blur. It's really weird, and I kind of want to know, like, I can't pinpoint what's off. But they did something that was a neat technique, and I can't figure out what it was, but it looked very unique and cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he looks great. I know we were worried about Savitar being in multiple episodes with all this like CG on him,
dig it,
and totally being a CG character. But he's great so far.
Oh yeah, good so far.
Yeah, real scary.
But sorry, so we were positing on who it might be. I didn't mean to distract from these.
I didn't really have a posit at this point. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be like Hunter Zolomon again, Time Remnant, something like that, or. I don't know what's going on. But also because if he's moving through time instead of using the Speed Force, it also explains why he wouldn't have, like, time wraiths on his butt.
Yeah.
When you got time wraiths on your butt?
All up on your butt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, so I don't know who it is. Unless, like, Detective Patterson is the only new character.
Right.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I think Detective Patterson is really just a, hey, it's that guy that you kind of know and like from all the other things. I'm like, all right. Hey
guy, we kind of know from other things.
I think the smart money is on we'll never see him again.
Way to get named, character.
But yeah, no other big hidden Easter eggs this week. Just a lot of positing as to who Savitar might be. I like in the chat right now Gareth Hughes talking about it's how Killer Frost is a kisser in the comics as well, and
she was a kisser in her Earth 2 personality as well, because
true.
I remember her like big opening line where she kissed Firestorm Ronnie, and she's like, the only man I can kiss is the only man I want to kiss, but she did it way better than I just did.
Right.
So yeah, she's a.
I feel like
Kisser Frost.
She is a kisser. I feel like every hero that turns into a villain for any given reason, male or female, anytime a hero gets turned into a villain, whether it be metahuman changing, hypnosis, mirror universe, or some kind of like Earth 2 parallel, whatever it is, all of a sudden they are thirsty. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Like when a hero turns villain for whatever reason, they're trying to get a piece of anybody who's around.
How can we show they're evil? Mild consent issues? Yes.
Mild consent issues.
Excellent.
It's such a go-to in any series, in anything ever. Yeah, the amount of times that comes up in Star Trek, just like is it the mirror universe one? I don't know. Are they trying to get a piece of everything? Then yeah, it's just how you know that someone's the evil version of whoever it is that they are.
Actually, they even did this, if I recall, in season 1 there was a shapeshifter who looked like Barry who kissed Caitlin to distract her.
Oh,
if I recall correctly. Okay. So look at us all coming around.
All right. Blue Flare 19 saying that Patterson is a recurring. All right, so I'm wrong. We'll see him again.
See you later, Greg Grunberg. You're probably Savitar then.
Sure. Says Greg Grunberg needs to be hitting that gym.
That's the He-Man of it all.
Time to bulk up 18 feet higher. Good luck with whatever workout does that.
No, you're a big guy like this, and then you go He-Man, and then you're like just a tall guy who's Savitar.
Right. Okay.
I think it makes sense.
All right.
I think it makes sense. And that's it for my Easter eggs.
Some people in the chat now color coding the different speeds. Red lightning slowest, purple lightning fastest? Question mark.
Was Zoom black or
blue lightning fastest?
He was blue. Blue's pretty good.
Yeah, Senior Titan is saying the blue lightning is the
red
and
fastest. Yellow seems to be a good one if you can mix them together.
If you can mix those together, that seems to be a pretty chaotic one.
Was like a rainbow flash.
It almost feels like the heat of flame is kind of what they're going for, where it's
we need like a white one.
Yeah. Well, like when Savitar just straight up is invisible to humans, there's just a little white piece that shows up when he appears, where it's just like glint, just a little white glint, just a little bloop glint, and then he's gone.
Yeah, all right, so he might be the light blue / white.
That's right.
I do like the color coding of speedsters. I think that's going to be like a fun, like, when you analyze Breaking Bad and try to figure out the colors kind of thing.
I like it too, and I do like the idea that it color codes to like the heat of flame. I think that's a nifty thing as well.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's all just It's all just chemical reactions or whatever the hell they're doing in there. I don't know what's going on. Friction, there's heat, there's stuff like that. Just a bag of chemicals. Did I miss anything in the chat? I think we're good. I think we hit everything. Thank you everybody for being part of the chat. For joining us this week on Fan v Fan. We're here every week. I myself won't be for the next 2 weeks since I'm touring doing stand-up dates. If you're in Alberta, check out andrewiveme.com. I'll be touring through and doing some stand-up, but we'll have replacements here, and we'll have more shows for you in the next couple weeks.
And you can follow Dorkshelf on Twitter at Dorkshelf. Subscribe here on YouTube for updates of videos. You can follow us on FromSuperheroes.com. And you can have yourselves a great evening. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next week. And be sure to tweet along with the show using hashtag FanVFan. I'm Andrew Rudney.
I'm Diana McCullum.
Bye.
Kicked him out.
Kicked him out.